Hey guys, welcome back. I've got a founder who's going to help you move if you're relocating and you want to be happy, and not be worried about your car being damaged or your sofa being damaged when you get to your new destination. I've got Rahul with me, who's the founder of Flytta. How are you?
I'm doing well, Vishal. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks for being here. By the way, this guy's a cool socks guy. We'll talk about the socks in a bit, but listen, when did this business start?
We started in 2016 January. So basically, the idea was that a lot of professionals move, and the idea popped up when the Chennai city was flooded in 2015.
And you were in college?
We were in college at the time. Me and Gokul were studying together. I was doing his computer science, mechanical. It was. We happened to experience that, and we also helped. We volunteered during the part of the flooded team. And we were, we really wanted to build something good which would help them move.
At that time, I think a lot of people lost their houses and because of the flood, and they wanted to relocate.
Absolutely.
That's when you realized that there was an opportunity there.
Absolutely.
Okay. And what it started off as a user-generated platform?
So it was user-generated platform with more content on that. Gokul built the entire product, and then we had postings coming from different parts of the country. And then I used to validate it. So it was more on an information platform and bring service providers on board.
And Flytta means move in Swedish.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So how did you guys get the name?
It was a discussion for about 20-30 days. We debated, and then we wanted to take it viral, right? Flipkart was going viral at that point of time, like raising billions of dollars, and maybe we thought like once we put it, it'll be easy for us to generate more searches.
And that's why you said Flytta.
Yeah, that's
nice.
What we said.
FLY.
FLY, and then TTA added to that.
Very good. So you started off as a content company.
Correct.
You went to NASSCOM, got picked by NASSCOM in Hyderabad, and T-Hub.
Correct.
You were a T-Hub later on.
Correct.
And that's where you met a mentor.
Correct.
Who said
Dr.
Srikanth Sundarajam.
Correct.
And he told you that, look, you've got content, but it's also great if you can help people move. There's no organized platform.
Correct.
So how did that happen?
So he himself as a professional, he moved many times in his life, his journey, and then we also have got an opportunity to work with various service providers like the moving companies, housing companies, and then professionals on the other side, corporates, whenever they hire employees from different cities.
Yeah, right? Nobody helps you move. Actually,
exactly.
And you do it yourself, and when you do it yourself, you have your sofa broken, you have your car's tire which has disappeared.
Absolutely. So. You figure out whether go to office, fix this. What do you choose?
Correct.
Right? And the HR.
How did you pivot from being content to this? It's not easy.
It's definitely it was a very tough journey for us. Almost it took 1 year for us to realize on where exactly the challenges are. What we did is we started working with all the stakeholders in place, like I said, moving companies and the housing companies and the other essential services that you need, right? And then we built a tech platform for that. One that we built is for users to help them find the information and also listed. We're more like a service provider listing, and from there people could book, but people were not still satisfied with that. Right, individual user was moving, but authenticity of the service
was a problem.
Yeah, was a real problem.
So because you were going to partners and saying that let people book through your platform.
Absolutely.
But you were not doing the end-to-end.
Absolutely.
You were just connecting people.
We just connecting people.
Okay.
And then 2017 we took a hard stop, and we said we need to build SLAs around this. We need to ensure that we have to set up some USPs for the customer, and we should ensure that the hassle is not felt. Right? 3 things what we have understood in this entire 1 year journey. One is damages. There are significant amount of damages that happen, right? And how could technology, and as well as of course technology can be a differentiator, can be an enabler, but also the skill set of the people who are loading or unloading the goods, the way they're packaging and stuff. So how SLAs and SOPs can standardize them, right? With tech in place. Then making sure that things are reaching on time, right? What Flytta does today is you just open an app, download the application, open it, you book an Uber.
So I get the quotation instantly. I get the right partners close by.
Absolutely.
And they make sure that there's a Flytta SOP that's followed.
Absolutely.
Right, and there's insurance that's covering me.
Absolutely.
So which is what was missing, right?
Absolutely.
And I mean, is there competition for this for you? I mean, I know that it's a largely 98%, it's fragmented.
Absolutely.
Or there are these independent agencies, organizations that do it.
True.
On the e-commerce side, I look at you as an e-commerce in a way. Do you have competition?
So there is competition, as in there are marketplaces.
Again, they can connectors.
They can connectors, like
But no SOPs from them.
No SOPs, yeah. And one of the key USPs is what we are building is we're building a next generation technology. You're like we open an app, you don't have to manually add items or inventory. You run it through a video. You just run a video, right? It onboards and it automatically detects what's the size of the furniture, what's the material that's used. All of this.
Really, I just have to put my camera like this on my furniture.
Absolutely.
Figure out, okay, there are books, there's this bookshelf.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's next generation.
What
right?
Is it AR, VR, just camera tech?
It's a vision intelligence. We call it vision intelligence. There are some algos that we have built in place.
But think about it. You were in a Hindustan college in Chennai.
Correct.
Would you have, in 2 years down the line, would you have thought you'd have been in this journey?
No, definitely
no?
not. No.
And that too from a content company?
We had, offers from Ivy League universities, me and my co-founder.
But you didn't go. It's interesting, right? You guys did this content company, but you had also built India's first Mars rover in 2014.
Correct.
It would have been disappointing if, for me, it would have been very disappointing if it remained a content company. But it's great, right? You got back into technology.
Correct.
And do you thank Srikanth for that?
Absolutely. We thank all our mentors, Dr. Srikanth, Akshay, our first investor, Mr. Mahesh Reddy, and couple of other folks.
Mahesh Reddy,
yeah.
Mahesh Reddy,
first
okay.
investor for that.
It's significant because Flytta in under a year has grown to 150 towns. They're in 8 cities, correct? You have 27 corporates,
correct.
Which means you help employees of the corporate move around the country. And you've got 3 Fortune 500 companies working together today.
Correct.
And how many people do you move every month?
So we're doing about 200 to 50 odd now. We're getting to about 1,000 in the next
month. You're going 1,000?
Yeah.
And you're going to do double that also this year?
Yeah, so we're going to scale. We are in a aggressive scale mode now.
And aggressive scale, you said. I want to touch upon that. You have no funding today other than this angel round that you did, which is a minimum amount.
Absolutely.
Aggressive means signing in more partners. I know you've got 80 partners today, which means the truckers and the laborers and the insurance companies.
Absolutely.
What does aggressive mean to you?
So aggressive is what we do is we have taken a strategy of working with an enterprise, largely enterprise with about 2 lakh employees, 1,50,000 employees. The scale of the employees and almost 10 to 15% of the employee base is mobile. So which means they hire people from different parts of the country, and we are the moving partner assisting throughout the relocation.
Would you want to tell me how many people move in India every month or every year?
So every year, close to 1.5 to 2 crores of moves happen.
That's about 20 million people moving from one place to another.
Absolutely.
Intra-city and intercity?
Both. It's a combination of intercity and intracity. But when you look at intercity alone, contributes to about 40%, which means roughly about 90 lakh people move.
90 lakh people.
Yeah, both. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and would you know what are white collar workers, blue collar workers? Would you know all that? I mean, the kind of people you move.
Oh yeah. So mostly we move in professionals.
Okay.
Someone with a blue collar job, taking a IT company or something in the manufacturing industry or engineering industry, pharma, etc. Right? Blue collar jobs, they don't have much goods and pretty much they work like, in US you have this U-Haul kind of trucks.
Correct.
So they put in. We're also going to work in the future to
That's exactly what I want to ask you, because they're talking about the next 300-400 million Indians coming into the mobile, right?
Correct.
Where vernacular will be a big thing.
Absolutely.
You see Flytta play a big role there too?
Oh, definitely. I think we will be playing a primary role in terms of how we help them to settle at a new location. And that's more from the experience point of view, and also the ease of settling in point of view.
Talk about the B2C technology. You said that camera tech. I want to get back to it. You said it's algorithms that understand what is in the room, right? How long did it take you to build?
It took close to 1.5 years for us.
Why is that?
So there is a lot of practice that happens in place. It's not on day one that you build out thing. So it took 7 months of development for us, and then testing in practices. There's a lot of data which goes beyond that. What we did is we went back to this 80 moving partners, and then we also helped them to install those applications. And whenever they went for surveying, they always did it. And so we could capture the data and we make much precise on a day-to-day basis.
It's interesting, right? You could have also remained in this business as an aggregator who managed the SOPs.
Correct.
Right? and ensured that the service element was met.
Correct.
Right? But you also started doing R&D on the side.
Sure.
Was it very important to have done that?
It is, right? So as the future is moving toward very consumer focused and mobile first, right? And until you don't understand what's the next challenge, and you could anticipate the challenge well in advance and say, build out the feature, that it should be at the convenience of the customer on the tip. So that's our ideology, and that's the reason we started looking at R&D as a core component.
So what kind of monies would you require to scale up? I mean, today, obviously revenues must be very good.
Yeah.
You were telling me the margins are very high.
Yeah.
We all say that competition is a good thing, but
Correct.
you also want to be ahead of the competition.
Sure.
One way of doing it is through technology.
Correct.
And what is the other way?
We'll be looking at raising funds more on the team and more on aggressive marketing strategies, etc. Which I think we should be raising about 2 to 3 million. We're in talks with a couple of VCs.
And you want to add more corporate, obviously, to join you.
You
have a B2B, B2C element.
Our B2B is a primary focus because that's where the cost of acquisition for us is very less, and that's where the scalability is very high.
Okay.
Yeah, and we should be doing about 12,000. We have targeted 12,000 moves this year, and then 60,000 in the upcoming year in 2020.
When you're saying 2 crore people move or relocate, I don't think the current ecosystem can support that, right? I mean, not many people's needs are met properly.
Yeah.
Right? And for you, 60,000 is still a small number. That means the opportunity is huge.
Huge. It's a large volume. So the way we're going to enable is, we want to put out the data set, the data component on one side of it, which would make it much easier for us to scale and ensure that all the moves that we could handle at least 20 to 30% of the market in the next 3 years, right? And this would happen as a step by step. So we have put goals in such a way that the data that we collect and the service that we are able to execute with a very calculative approach should be able to get to the number.
Okay, once you build up substantial data, what kind of pattern recognition can happen with you? I mean, we are talking about AI and machine learning now.
Correct.
What can you do with data that comes?
So machine learning is a key component here. AI is the next step to that. What we're doing is collecting the information which is able to recognize at any point of time the dimensions of the objects, right? The material sciences around that, right? And let's say, I'll give you a best example, right? If there is a truck and there are labor who are packing your home and just keeping it inside. Imagine there is a laptop or a desktop packed and kept inside, and someone brings the surgery, the wardrobe, and keep placements on that, right? And it results in damage. That's a first sign. But at any point of time, you plan well in advance that the labor who's packing knows where to place what. The entire 3D reconstruction of the truck, and you can organize things very efficiently.
So that means the trucking partners will value you more. At the moment, they're just fulfilling the role of taking things and putting in. You're saying this will change.
That's going to change.
Interesting. And when do you see this product coming out?
In the next 7 months, we're going to make it live. We're already testing. We are piloting with about 12 trucks now, dedicated trucks.
Nice.
Yeah, and in 7 months we should take it live.
And guys, you've heard it here first. So remember that next time somebody's moving you rather ask for Flytta, because they actually work with the truckers to actually understand how to ensure that they keep your products in the truck in a safe manner so that they don't get damaged.
Absolutely,
right? Yeah. So instead of them dumping a sofa on top of a vase, for example, right? Yeah. That's the kind of thing you're talking about. How do you take out the human element from this?
So I think
because in those old days it was just people come, take, dump, right?
So ideally, one of the key things is that humans will be there, right? We would not remove them, right? Because creating jobs is most important, and to make them sticking out with more amount of automation.
I like what you're saying, because you're a platform that will enable humans better.
Absolutely. So we're not going to cut down on any of this, right? But we'll make it much better. Instead of 8 hours of work, they would do it 4 hours, and they'll be able to, use it much effectively. And the planet.
How many trucking partners you said? 80.
80 trucking partners.
They don't pay you anything today, right? For using, they don't use the
tech.
So
exactly. They use the tech. Again, we cut our commissions and then we pay the balance.
So talk about it. I just get to your app.
Correct.
Get the quotation immediately.
Absolutely.
And then I can say that how many chairs. I choose all.
Your app is going to say you that.
So I can just take my camera around,
Correct.
show around, and then it'll sync by itself. Okay. You know, what are your co-founders' names?
Gokula Murli is my co-founder.
Okay, what does he do?
So he builds a product.
He's a techie?
He's a techie, yeah.
And you're taking care of the business?
I'm taking care of the business.
Okay. The corporate side, I know you can crack, right?
Yeah.
You just have to tell them that we do this and they get it and they give you a pilot.
Sure.
How did you convince your partners, the truckers and the insurance company?
So what's the value that's providing, that comes on larger scale is that most of the trucking partners today, they have cash flow issues, smaller companies, right? And one of the things...
You said it. You said it, cash flow again.
Yeah, cash flow.
You told them that you can get them a good movement of their cash cycles.
Absolutely.
They'll get paid on time.
Get paid on time. Make it much easier. Organize their inventory, right? Predict what is the kind of material that requires to pack. How many people will you actually require to manage or get deployed?
Nice. So how big is your team?
We're 27 now, and we have service partners again who are doing the entire servicing part of the relocation. Okay. So we should be getting 50 in the next 6 months.
You chose Bangalore as a city for this. Why? Is it because there are many people moving into this city?
So the focus is the primary focus is the corporates, enterprises. So that's why Bangalore is a city. We still have our product team stationed in Hyderabad, right? And the entire business team stationed out of Bangalore.
So you're signing in more corporate customers this year?
So we have a pipeline of 102 corporates.
Okay.
Yeah. So we should
in the sales cycle.
In the sales cycle.
I hope you're not under March pressure or something like that. Right?
No, definitely not.
So, but you're going to sign in 102 by the end of the year.
Yeah, by end of the year. Yes.
What's the typical difficulty with the corporate?
So I think the time to make them understand that what's wrong in the current industry and what can be made better is one, and then they have their organization structures and policies, which takes a lot of time. Depends. See, the kind of companies that we work with is companies which has about 5,000 employees, and also companies which have about 2 lakh employees.
Interesting. You know, the payments. How do you do the pricing here? The pricing is made on the transportation costs plus the labor costs plus your margins. So.
Yeah, exactly. So let's say you're moving this cup. Okay. You only pay for that, right? So how we do is like an Uber. You know your distance, you know the capacity that's being utilized by that particular object, right? So the packaging, the transportation cost, the labor cost to place that, unpack it, all of that, and then the lead gen cost for us.
Very nice. Okay. And can me as a person who's using your services track any items that I send?
Any point of time you'll be able to track it. The way you place the request, you know when, so you can customize it when you want the truck to come, what time you want the truck to come, if the work has started, who is placing what inside the truck, and once the move has started, your complete visibility of the move.
Okay, I'm just thinking top of my head here. I mean, for the future, do you see cameras playing a major role while on transportation? For example, I'm sending some. I'm using the word the vases today because I mean some people love vases and I do love vases. Yeah. And if I'm sending some of my expensive vases across the country, can there be a camera set inside the truck that can show me live images of how they are?
Oh yeah. So there are two things. Vision intelligence is one of the biggest thing, right? There's so much of R&D going beyond that, including SLAM and other technologies. But on the other part of it, when you look at is there are RFID tagging methods. There are sensors in place. There is geotagging that you can do. So all of this contributes.
Is it possible?
Yeah, IoT plays a major role, and it is possible. We are doing, like I said, 12 trucks. What we're doing. So at any point of time, in this 12 trucks that we are piloting with, you'll be able to track even the cup, the cup what's
That's
placed.
good to know. So look forward to Flytta's activity. You are really a mover and shaker. By the phrase, because you've done so well in such a short span of time.
Sure.
And so, what do you do in Axelor? What were you doing in Axelor, rather?
So Axelor,
you're not having tea with VG. I know VG would be watching this. What were you doing there?
So VG has been helping a lot. So I think one of the key differentiators before Axelor and once Axelor is that we grew 5x in the last 6 months of time. So that has Axelor, but 5x in all the dimensions: the business, the product, the team building perspective, the fundraising, all of this put together. So the growth speaks.
They help you organize things,
shape it up in a proper way. Go to the market, have a proper
if you can
strategy.
tell me 2 words, what did you learn from NASCOM? What did you learn from Axelor?
NASCOM was the initial platform which helped us to build the MVP, get into the market, get the customers in place, and then you can get to a scale. The scale was something which is required, which the current phase where we are. and Axelar has shaped us to get to that scale company.
Okay, interesting. So you have to tell me the mentors that you have on board.
Sure.
You have to tell the audience that why is it important to find the right mentor? Otherwise, because if somebody wouldn't have told you to move from content to this, you would have never tried.
Definitely. So primarily, one is the key learnings for us from our mentors are that, or the entire mentorship process that happened between the co-founders and the people are, they guided us, they understood, they stepped into our shoe as well. So at any point of time, they would understand from the point of view of how we were thinking and how the markets are. They would do their research, they would do their homework. They would also, so it's more co-creative. So that's the importance of having mentors and having mentors who think alike. Right. That's more important. And the second thing is industry. If you don't have industry experts and
so you should listen.
You should listen.
And also be wary with who you're signing in, right? Who you're taking advice from becomes important.
Absolutely.
Any mistakes? Did you make any mistakes?
A lot of mistakes.
Give us one if you think they should not make.
So I think utilizing the first capital, including me and my co-founder, we put in money when we started, right? A decent amount of money, and in 6 months, like, we broke out. And that was because we survived because our parents helped us for a period of 3 months, and then that's when we reached our first round of funding when investor came on board. Mr. Mahesh Reddy came on board. But the sixth month.
Mahesh Reddy is from SmartTron?
Mahesh Reddy is from MAPE Advisory Group, is the director of MAPE Advisory Group.
That's Mahesh Linga Reddy from SmartTron.
Got it.
Yeah. So very important to have met that man.
Yeah. So meeting Srikanth was a blessing for us. And then what happened is, on the 6th month we went and we told Srikanth that we were out of money. And he got kindly help us raise a fund. Then he was very particular about how will you utilize the fund. He guided us how to utilize, and then we took a step forward. And
that's why you need a mentor.
We need a mentor.
So what did you spend the money on? Your own expenses?
Oh yes, mostly. We also had the platform. We did some.
There's only the two of you at that point.
Two of us. We had our first employee. The founding team.
Okay, and I wish you all the best.
Thank
but now I want to talk about some other things.
Yeah.
I love your socks today. It's all very Jamaican. We can't show it to you because he doesn't want to lift his feet. I mean, superb colors, man. How did you pick them up?
So I am an art lover, right? I go by that, and I bought this from Socks Bakery. I'm branding them here.
Are your friends?
Not really, but I've had some good testimonials with them.
You've also got a Star Wars socks and all that.
Oh yeah, a lot of. I am so I really like wearing different types of socks. There's about 200 pairs, in collection.
That's something unusual of a co-founder, founder. That's amazing. Do you read?
I read.
Anything in particular that you like or recommend?
The Hard Things About Hard Things was one, which I read.
I've always had trouble saying that. Say that again.
The Hard Things About Hard Things.
The Hard Things About Hard Things. Yeah. It's a good book.
It's a good book.
What's it about?
Ben Howard's. It's a complete as an entrepreneur, how do you see yourself and what are the challenges that you're going to encounter and how do you overcome? It might not be the similar experiences that you will have in what you have in the book, but it kind of gives you insights and helps you walk through the journey. It's a mentor for you.
I'd agree. And do a lot of entrepreneurs now come to you and say, I heard the previous entrepreneur on the show saying that, man, you scaled up so fast. How did you do that?
Sure.
So did that happen by chance? Or is it because you believe that once you've taken somebody's money, you have to go out there and prove yourself?
Both are important. One is, like you said, the vision that you have set, to be the first one, because again, you're solving the problem for all the masses, right? Until you go and if you're not going and solving it faster and making sure that your product is available for all the millions of users, then you're not getting there, right? You have to be fast, you have to be aggressive. And the second thing also, right, so when we get the money from the investors, it's most important that there is an outcome
that they look at. Their patience is also very thin, right? You've got to make use of their time effectively.
It is very important. So the way you communicate to them is the primary element.
Were you ever nervous?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes, yeah.
Toughest question asked by a VC?
So why a VC? I don't know. So we just met about 3 VCs now. Market size were few and stuff, but that were nervous questions. One of the biggest question was on the 6th month when we exhausted the Mahesh's funds which he has put in. So we didn't have an answer for that, but we could show some traction. So that day was a very nervous,
moment, right?
both for me and my co-founder.
Yeah, you're almost looked at. What did you do with the money?
Yeah,
Kind of thing,
yeah.
right? That must have frightened you.
Absolutely.
But there you go. But you're never scared. You just go and be a mover and shaker like Mr. Rahul here. And now, please go on to Flytta. Download the app.
Sure.
If you're ever relocating, check them out. Give them feedback, and they're here to support you. Rahul, where can they contact you if they want to work for you or complain about you?
They can reach out to me. Rahul@goflytta.com is my email address.
Okay.
I'm also there on all the. I'm active on
LinkedIn.
social media: LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter,
You're on Instagram, Twitter.
Facebook.
We're gonna do
No.
Insta also. Check them out there, guys. You're the biggest supporters of the ecosystem. Go check out Flytta. It's a company for India. I'll see you all in a bit. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, Rahul. I'll see you in a
Thank
bit.
you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Thanks.
Enjoyed this.